this hour is going to piss certain people off. It's going to piss them off because, well, I guess they'll have to tell me why. I just know it's going to piss them off. I know it's going to piss them off because I know when I'm in mixed company, I know when I'm at a party, I know when I hang out with friends and I start saying some of these things, people get very defensive and they start flipping out. And they don't realize I'm not trying to make them flip out. I'm just stating facts. You know how that can be, right? There are certain facts that you can state. It doesn't matter how true they are. You're going to piss people off. Let me give you an example. I've done it before, just for fun. Come on the air on December 24th and you say, you know that guy in the red suit you were expecting tonight? Ain't that kept? Now, that's 100% true, and you can't argue it with me. It's 100% true, but people get pissed. They get angry. There are things you say that are 100% true that will flip people out. So as we introduce this segment of the program, I'm going to start with me. And then we're going to move on to other people like you. Other people like me and other people probably like you, because I'm sure there are a lot of people like me who tune into this program. So let me give you the scenario here. You know, we've talked many times on the program about having children or not having children. I don't have children. And so for starters here, I'd like to give you a list of the great things I am able to do by not having kids. This is my life. See if you can handle it. First of all, by not having children, I'm free to live in any city where I choose. I have 2 homes in 2 different places. I also have the budget to fly anywhere in the world I want. So not only do I own a 4-story, fully restored 1925 home in the Hollywood Hills, I own 20 acres and a 5,000 square foot home in Santa Barbara County. That's right, 20 acres. I zip back and forth between these locations in a luxury automobile, in my case, a Lexus. And in addition to that, let's see, what are some of my past vacations? Where have I been just in the past couple of years? Oh, nowhere. Spent 16 days driving through Spain, through Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, San Sebastian, Rioja wine region, Ribera del Duero wine region. Tasting wines, stopping along the way. By the way, didn't see a clam strip or a fish stick. Did not see a hamburger for 2 weeks. Loved every minute of it. Oh, yes. I've been to Bordeaux, France, Paris, Bordeaux. I stayed in the finest hotels, little chateaus where I could order wines going back 50, 60 years. Ate the finest food, ate at 2- and 3-star Michelin restaurants. Yes. Of course, I was able to do that at any time of the year. I didn't have to wait until school was out. I didn't have to find a nanny or a babysitter. I didn't have to drag kids along and pay, $20,000 per child to go on the trip with me. No. Didn't have to impose upon family members, get them to babysit for me. Not necessary. Other places I have traveled and been able to travel because I don't have children. Oh, let's go down the list. All of Tuscany, Florence, Siena, Pisa, all the way down through Italy to Rome. Spent time in Rome. Biarritz, France. I've been to Colombia. I've been to Argentina. I mean, the list goes on. This year, I have a trip planned. I will be going to Burgundy. Burgundy is not Hardy Burgundy that the Gallo Wine Company sells. Burgundy is a place in France. Wow. And what a place it is, from what I can tell. I'll be going there. I'll be staying at the finest hotel in Beaune, which is in the Burgundy region. And I will be tasting red and white Burgundies for days, eating at the finest restaurants. I will also go to Champagne. And that doesn't mean the bargain bin at Beverages and More. I'm going to be going to the place in France called Champagne, which is the one and only place on earth where champagne comes from. I'll be tasting champagnes of the finest chateaus. I mean, that would curl your hair if you knew which ones, and I'll give a full report. Again, no need for a nanny, no babysitters, no need to carry bassinets or those, what are those, papooses, or whatever the people tug around with them, you know, the baby strapped to their back. What are those things called? Ugh. And, no, there won't be any carrying bottles or heating up bottles. There won't be any, no, there won't be any asking the hotel if they've got baby food. Won't be needing to do that. I belong to a tennis club. I play tennis when I want. Go swimming. No need to drag the kids along. No worrying about whether they're going to drown. I am pretty much free to do what I want, when I want, with whomever I want, anytime I want. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is not to lord it over you and not to demean you and not to make you angry, although it will make some people angry. Let me tell you why I'm telling you all of this. I'm telling you all of this so that some of you young guys out there who have girlfriends and you're thinking of doing something stupid like having babies, let me give you a list of some of the things you'll be giving up so you know. I just gave you a list. By the way, that stuff I described to you, very few people who get married and have kids at a young age or who skip through community college or trade schools, very few get any of the things I named. But now, let's talk about some of the other things you'll be giving up. Let's start with education. Those of you who bone your girlfriend without a condom, guess what? I'll be coming to you for that 1995 oil change. I'd like you to look at the windshield wiper fluid because I think it's a little low. Also, I've got some hedges in my yard. I need you to come over and do a little trimming. Okay? Can you handle that? And I think there's a loose washer in my bathroom. I need you to tighten that up or replace it. That'd be great. Yeah, you'll be giving up your education. You'll be giving up the opportunity to drive that car you've been dreaming about. You know the one. You know, everybody has their own dream car. What about you? What is it, a Maserati, a Ferrari, Testarossa, Boxster? What's your dream car? Corvette? You won't be owning that. Nope. You'll be driving the extremely reliable, dependable, fantastic value Toyota Corolla. And by the way, nobody likes Toyota better than I do, or Toyota Corollas. And I think it's fantastic that there's a car for that price for people who need to drive one. I think it's great, and I recommend them highly. I love getting them as rental vehicles. I drive a Toyota. Yes, I do. It's the Toyota called Lexus. I have an LS 430. Trading up to the 460 this year, actually. But that's made, did you know Lexus is actually made by Toyota? Yes, it is. So I'm a Toyota man. But I can afford to drive a Lexus. I don't have to drive a Toyota Corolla like many of you procreators are driving or will be driving. Oh, yes, all that partying you loved doing in high school, well, you won't be doing much of that anymore. No, you won't. No, you'll be at home hearing your wife tell you or your girlfriend tell you how irresponsible you are, how inadequate you are, just beating the living life out of you. You'll be required to sit around and feed the baby at 3 o'clock in the morning or take care of it when it's crying. Yes. Yes, remember you used to like to sit up there watching porn in the middle of the night? Well, that's going away. And, of course, all the freedom that I have, you're not going to have it. You're not. I'm not lucky, son. Okay? Listen carefully. Don't tell me I'm lucky. This was planned. Planned and coldly and calculatingly executed. When I was 8 years old, I said, I don't want to have kids. 8. And the reason was because I saw what having kids did to the economy at my home. Having kids is a luxury that most of you can't afford, but you'll do it anyway. And that's great because when I want to get an ultimate cheeseburger at 3 in the morning, I'm counting on you to be there to set it outside the window for me. That's right. And curly fries. I'll be counting on you. Oh, yes. And by the way, some of you boys out there who like knocking up your girlfriend at 19, let me tell you something. When I need a spark plug, I know where to go. Because you'll be selling it to me. But you know what? I don't need to go buy a spark plug and put it in my car because I can afford to hire you to put it in my car at a very low price. That's right. My life is made better by the existence of all you guys who smoke weed, party up a storm, and knock up your girlfriends in high school and college, if you ever get to college. That's right. My life is made better. You're carrying my bags to my room at my $750 a night hotel. Thank you for that, by the way. Here's $5. Thank you very much. Now, if you think I'm being cruel, you haven't heard anything yet, because now I'm going to ask all the other folks who don't have children to call in and tell us the advantages of not having kids. Give us the list. Don't hold back. Tell me all the things you've been able to do because you haven't knocked somebody up or been knocked up. I am waiting to hear from you.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
I've been with my girlfriend for 3 years. I have never once been to a chick flick with her. I have never once told her first in public, okay? I have my balls.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, yeah. It's the Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Now I'm going to have all you folks who are childless, all of you who planned your lives out instead of, smoking weed in high school and knocking up your girlfriend. I'd like you all to call in and tell us all the great things happening in your life right now. You guys can lord it over the guys who are going to be replacing the brakes on my car. Lord it over them. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Let us start here with Robin in Portland, Oregon on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, how you doing, friend?
I'm okay, Portland. I was going to call you Portland. Robin, I'm okay.
All right, good to hear. I would like to say, here's a hypothetical. I lose my job, and, luckily I don't have a kid, so that doesn't matter. I don't have a belly to worry about feeding tonight right now because I don't have any money, because I can always go hungry for a little while. That's not a problem. All those people that say things like, well, my friend, Bob, he's living outside of his means. Well, that doesn't just relate to buying a car that you can't afford or a house that you can't afford. That means having a kid that you can't afford too, Tom, because if you can't afford to feed the kid, you can't afford the kid. You are living outside of your means. Correct?
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people don't look at children the way they look at an expensive car.
Right.
I mean, everybody out there, if I said, why don't you own a Maserati? They know the answer. Because I can't afford it.
Well, but that's the thing. It's even worse because you can always sell your Maserati. I mean, you can't legally just sell your kid, can you? to get it off your hands.
No, that's absolutely true.
That little bastard for 18 years.
That's right. So he's an ongoing expense.
That's it. That's all. I am childless and plan to stay that way. That's it. I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. Here comes John on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How's it going?
Going great.
When I was 18 years old, I totally dodged a bullet. I did a summer internship at a talent agency, and I, of course, slept with one of the secretaries who told me she was on the pill. Well, what happened was I went off to college, and a year later I had the same internship, and she told me that she got pregnant, but she had an abortion because she didn't want to ruin my life.
Oh, my.
Incredible. So I dodged that bullet, and ever since then, I'm now 38, no kids, love being an uncle, the best job in the world, as you know.
It's great. I love it.
I live in Topanga Canyon on a beautiful ranch. Travel, Tuscany, stayed at La Suvera. You know that place in Tuscany?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Florence, Enoteca Pinchiori. Did you eat there?
You know what? That's where I had my $2,400 meal last year that I talked about.
Oh, yeah, the best.
Yes.
That is such a great restaurant.
Oh,
Loved
yes. It. John, for those who live in Southern California, give us a list of area codes where you'll never live, please.
Let's see. 818, 213. Now 323 is cool because the Hollywood Hills. No problem with that.
What about 626?
714, 626.
909?
What were you going to say?
909?
909, absolutely not 909. I'm going, let's see, this weekend, going to the Food and Wine event in Pebble Beach.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Is that at that's at the Inn at Pebble Beach, right?
That's correct. Going to stay at, what is it, the other one, the sister resort. Oh, I forgot the name of it.
I've been there.
Yep. Going to Bora Bora, staying at the St. Regis. That's in June.
Uh-huh.
Ever been to Lake Garda before?
I haven't. Tell me about it. I need some new places to go.
It's the most incredible hotel I've ever stayed at called the Villa Fetrinelli. Used to be Mussolini's villa.
Really?
Absolutely.
Well, he had
one
taste.
of the best hotels I've ever stayed in. Just incredible.
Wow.
I couldn't do any of this if I had children. To my mother's chagrin, of course.
Of course.
But the fact that I'm an uncle 4 times over, it's the best job in the world.
By the way, what area code does your mother live in?
She lives in 310.
Oh, 310. All right.
Oh, yeah. Folks
That's
live here. You know, my folks are still married. You know, I have nothing against marriage or children, but it's just not for me. It's not for me, and it never will be, because I love living this life. I love the freedom that it brings. And it's an incredible life.
And your nieces and nephews, what area code do they live in?
They live in 323. They live in the Hollywood Hills.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Yeah, so, I mean, they do their thing, and they're happy, and they're great kids. You know, I love them dearly, and I love talking to them and hanging with them maybe one night or one day over the weekend, you know, and then I go off and do my thing. And
You've never had to stand and watch them do a poopy?
Nothing like that ever. I will never have to deal with that. And I'm just, you know, I worked hard. I went to college. I invested very well when I was younger. And all the hard work is now paying off, and I'm truly living the life. I just got back from Costa Rica, stayed at the Four Seasons there.
Oh, I was in Costa Rica back in December and January, yeah.
You at the Four Seasons up there?
No, I went to Quepos, and that's
right, that's right. I heard that show. I was up in Guanacaste.
Uh-huh.
Four Seasons up there, and it was just gorgeous. And
very nice.
Again, the Four Seasons Guanacaste is an incredible service.
And prostitution legal in Costa Rica, correct?
That I didn't know, but I didn't realize that.
Have to be over 18, but hey not that I would never hire a prostitute, but for those who care.
Exactly. So, Tom, I'm living the life, and really, it's truly thanks to you, because I started listening to you about 5, maybe 6 years ago. 6 years ago, excuse me, and you know, it really changed my life. I've turned so many friends onto you, and I have friends who are married with children, and some of them are so miserable. Because, I mean, they see the life that I live, and they only wish, and they live vicariously through me, and they only wish that they could have that, you know.
How many of them tell you need to have kids?
Oh, gosh. I'd say about maybe 3, 4 of my friends said, "Oh, you should have kids. They're wonderful. It's so great. It's such a great life." And others are miserable because they have a wife who just nags them and is on them to do everything. They have to do this and they have to do that, and it's just horrible.
It is. Wow. Well, John, thank you for that little tour through your life. It's wonderful. I got some ideas there. Very nice.
Absolutely, Tom, and thank you for everything. Keep up the good work forever.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, my friend. Ciao.
Appreciate the call. See, he says ciao because he's worldly. Elizabeth on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. Long time, first time.
Thank you.
Hey, I know I'm not your demographic, but I'll tell you, I made plans when I was about the same age as you that I said I was never going to have children. I had to fight at age 32 to insist that the doctors allow me to have a tubal ligation, even though I had never had children. And here I am at 48. I live in a multi-million-dollar house at the beach. I drive a paid-for Porsche. I travel all around the world. I have the career of my dreams, and I do what I want when we want to do it. And I don't ever have to wonder what I'm going to do with the kids because they're in school or we're paying for their college. Tom, it was a choice that I made at a young age. And I've got a lot of women friends with the kids that are going to continue to be burdened until their late 50s, early 60s, and that's when they think their life's going to start. And I got to tell you, I've lived my life, and I'm living it every single day, and I will never, ever regret those decisions.
Elizabeth, for people in Southern California, can you give us a list of area codes where you'll never live, please?
Well, 909's at the top of that list, and 818 is at the next to that list. And there's parts of 213 I wouldn't live in, but there's parts of 562 and 949 that are absolute desirable, high desirable, and some of the 818 is a little bit desirable.
Yeah, but 626?
626, some good portions of it, yeah.
So you might go there.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you name one of those places?
Well, I'm in 562 right now.
No, I'm not talking about 562, 626.
626. Oh, Newport Coast, for example.
Newport Coast is 626?
I think it is, isn't it?
No, I think it's 562.
Is it 562? Well, it may be north 626. I'm not sure because I know there's a cutoff there.
626 is places like Monterey Park.
Oh, I thought
Irwindale.
North Orange County was 626 part down there. But
No.
Oh,
Monterey.
no, then scratch 626.
Irwindale, Baldwin Park.
Oh, no, then.
San Marino, Whittier.
Parts of 949 then. Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Just checking.
Newport Coast, Laguna.
You're so, you know what, you're so distant from this, you don't even know the bad area codes anymore.
Yeah, well, I've been in my home for 11 years, and like you, Tom, would never leave it.
In which area code do you think people are most likely to have knocked up their girlfriend in high school?
818.
818.
818 and 909.
Thank you. I have to take time to laugh here for a minute. Excuse me. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh, she went away. That was too good. A lot of angry people out there. Richard on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How are you? Long-time listener. I've never called the show, but I do enjoy it.
Thank you.
I live down in Laguna Beach, and, I'd say 75% of the time, I have to agree with you on most of this stuff. On this, I have to say I don't. I mean, I'm driving from Laguna Beach up to Beverly Hills now for a meeting, but all the stuff, you do, and I love Spain. I have a house in Marbella, and I get out there for about 2 months a year, and I have a child, and, if you're making those kind of dollars, what I've done is, he goes away to camp for the summer, and then if in the winters, I went away to Africa for 2 months this last year, and, we put him with a house sitter or a nanny, and those things, you have to make them work out, but I have no regrets for having a child.
I'm not saying you do. And I know that most people who have kids will never even admit to those, even if they have them, regrets. They won't admit to that. But if you're happy with what you did, that's great. But the vast majority of people don't make the money you make.
No, I agree. And to hear some of the stuff that you have, I I guess what I was telling your guy that answered the phone, I do all the stuff you do and quite a bit more. And congratulations on your success. Good for you. And I would say I'm in the upper sevens, figures numbers. And, I've got a Lear 60. I've got the other bells and whistles that put it together.
Great.
But I just would say that it's tough to rub these things in other people's faces. Having the kids, I don't think makes a difference in their life. You can still.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Well,
you haven't. You know what? You haven't had a job at Pep Boys recently, or Jiffy Lube, or somewhere like that.
No, but I started there. I started my first job was at Magic Mountain.
Yeah, but the point is, there are people who make their careers working at Ralph's.
There are. There absolutely are.
And those people maybe ought to think twice before having kids.
Oh, absolutely. And I didn't have kids till I was 30. I started making my money and had, I already had a 7,000 square foot house and all the bells and whistles before I had my one child. But, there are mistakes. I mean, my parents were married at, and had me at 15 and 16. It was a bad mistake. It ruined their life. So I agree with you on the forefront. I just would say that, all those things, the best quote still is perfection's unattainable. I agree with most of the stuff you're saying. With people that have low self-esteem or are coming from, I came from the 805 to bring the area codes back to come, to where I'm at now, and I'm thankful I came from there. And your goals, granted, are were similar to mine. I needed to get out of there. I wanted to go to a restaurant and be able to have whatever I wanted on the menu, not just what we could afford that day.
And that's a great goal, and you realized it. Unfortunately, most of the guys who are, knocking up their high school girlfriend, they will never realize what you realize.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
I took your advice staunchly, and I've been dating lots of different girls and banging all kinds of chicks. If you only knew. More ass than a toilet seat.
Love that.
Oh, jeez.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Thank you for tuning in. We're talking to people who are giving us a list of all of the advantages they have obtained by not having children. Look at this. Emma writes in and says, okay, I totally agree with you on not having kids. I'm a 19-year-old girl from Scotland. But all my friends think I'm a total a-hole because I don't want kids eventually. But I have plans for myself. I'm moving out soon to start my career as a photographer. And the last thing I need is having kids. I'm going to be having the time of my life. I have no ties. I don't have a boyfriend, and I don't want one. If I need sex, it's not hard to get because that's one of the perks of being a female. But that's not saying I'm some silly little whore. I use condoms. I don't need kids or any sexual diseases. So what the hell is people's problems with my choice? All I seem to get is I'm some sort of selfish bitch. But to be honest, I think I'm the smart one who's going to have the last laugh. I have nieces and nephews, the perks of having kids, and I can give them back. Thank you, Emma. Oh, my goodness, it just keeps pouring in here. Matthew writes in and said, for starters, I have my house in the Santa Monica foothills of Tarzana on almost an acre, and my $500,000 instrument collection, which is paid for. Being child-free allows me to pursue a challenging, unpredictable business, and playing all those great actors for fun and profit. He says, boy, I wish I'd heard your show in 1985, but, ... Matt, thank you for that. Derek writes in and says, Tom, I would describe myself as a faithful listener and follower. Because I don't have kids, Christmas shopping can be done in minutes. Trips can be taken at a moment's notice. I can watch anything I want on TV. Buying golf clubs and equipment are a priority. And sex can be had anytime, anywhere. From Derek and O.C., I hope you boys are hearing what you're not getting. Beth writes in, it says, I am loving what you're saying right now. I'm a child-free woman, and I thank the stars. I'm an atheist, too, so no God to thank. Every day that I have never wanted kids. My husband and I are always counting the reasons not to sprog. We must be up into the millions by now. I just don't get it. Why do people take having children so lightly? They say things like, oh, it just happened. Oh, I was just stupid. Great. So you brought one or more human beings into this world because you were careless and stupid. Your kids are so lucky. You need a marriage license, and that can be undone. Yes, every 15-year-old can get knocked up, and it's treated like the greatest thing. Anyway, I won't call because I'm 45 and past my expiration date, so I'm scared to call. But I just wanted to say thank you, and yes, I agree. Here's my list. These are the things she gets to do by not having kids. 2 pleasure trips to Mexico in 2 months, unencumbered by the expense and hassle of traveling with kids. I don't have to pack luggage just to go to the grocery store. No snotty, grubby fingers on me or any of my stuff. Drinks at Koi on La Cienega. No worry about the world getting more dangerous, worse, filthier, whatever, and how it will be when kids grow up. No worry about the lousy public school system. I put myself through grad school because I did not need to worry about sending a kid to college. I can collect nice things like mid-century furniture and not worried that it will be destroyed. I don't have a house filled with plastic crap and primary colors. I like that one. Okay, that's it for me. You rock. Best regards, Beth. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Danny on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, man?
Great.
I've been listening to you for about 6 months now, and oh my gosh, it's hilarious.
Love it.
I just wanted to call in and say that, you know, me not having any kids, you know, I've been putting in about 20 grand into my car in the past couple of months. I got a Subaru that I put a wide body on, and, you know, I wouldn't be able to afford that if I had kids, you know. So I looking at my buddy who's 21, and he's got a kid, and he's living in his, you know, mom's house, and he's got a Corolla, and that's the biggest reason I called in because I was laughing so hard. So, I mean, he, you know, I don't mean to clown on him because he's my buddy, but, I mean, where's he going in life? But,
well,
you know, he's not working or nothing. So I'm just out here working in Wilmington right now, making a living and earning some money for my car to go to the racetrack on the weekends.
Good for you.
So I just called in to put my little 2 cents in for what it matters. Just want you to take me out African travel style, followed by a machine gun.
Okay, here you go. Yes. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. This is Ron on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello, Ron.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Tom, I've been wanting to call for the longest time, but I've been super busy. I just tuned in right now, and I said, this is the time I got to call in. And now I'm 24 years old. I started listening to your show when I was 16, delivering pizza for Domino's. And I've been listening actually ever since then. At about 20, when I turned 20, I got with some girl. I had no plans on staying with her, but she was really nice. She was really good. So this might have happened to some guys out there. My plan was always, I never said I don't want to have kids ever. I don't now. I don't know what's going to happen later. But I've always said I'm never going to have kids unless I have my first million in the bank. Because I want to be sure I have all my fun. I do whatever I want to do financially, mentally, I'm ready before I even think about that. Now, the girlfriend I got with, I was with her for a while. And a few months ago, a couple of her friends got pregnant, knocked up by their boyfriends, and had kids. Now, one of these chicks, she's got a kid, but I have seen pictures of her in my girlfriend's laptop with some other dude. So this poor guy is paying the child support, and the kid is probably not even his. But that's for him. Now, I'm 24 years old. I have 2 companies, 2 management companies. I manage properties in the 909 and 951. I have 2 condos, one in 626, which is Pasadena, which is not a bad area, Tom. And
just checking.
The 562 that you were talking, the 626, you said Whittier is 626. That's actually 562. But
Whittier is 562. Okay.
Right. And I do have an income property in 323, which I rented out to a guy with 2 kids about my age. I don't know exactly what he does. I think he's a plumber. But just letting you know, Tom, I mean, guys out there, if they do have a girlfriend right now, but they don't plan on having that kind of life for long, and they have some plans for their future, some goals, they got to really step up, and they got to be able to tell their girlfriend, no, this is not what I want. That's what I did. It wasn't just a baby thing that was bothering me. Since I have 2 companies, I'm going to be working 16-hour days, and I've been doing that. And I just don't have the time to be stopping by my girlfriend's house after work because she wants to see me and this and that. I have other plans in life, Tom. And guys out there that have plans, that want to get somewhere, unless you're a celebrity, you're not going to be able to have kids and really work and make that much money or just be where you want to be. So if you have any plans, if you have any goals for your future, you need to break up with your girlfriend. You need to be single, focus on your life, and don't even think about kids.
You're absolutely right, Ron. You're absolutely right.